Hi, I'm Dr. Rick Duplantis, and you're watching It's Your Health. I want to thank you for tuning into the program tonight. The topic of this program tonight is on hypertension, high blood pressure, and how to control it naturally. A lot of good points on hypertension, high blood pressure tonight. Before I start the show, I want to wish a very good friend of mine a very happy birthday. Red Laurel turns 80 today. And I wanted to take this time to wish him a very happy birthday on this Thursday. We are filming this afternoon, and I wanted to take the time out to wish him. I think we've got a few pictures of what his staff did for him. There you go. Yeah, this is the way Red, when he unlocked the gym this morning at 3 o'clock in the morning, as he trains every day at 3 o'clock in the morning, this is what he saw, this banner. A happy 80th birthday. Best boss ever, Red Laurel. And in my college days, I did have the opportunity to work for Red during my college at USL at that time, and was a very good experience. And eventually I went on to build my own health club back in my hometown of Morgan City in 1979. I'm kind of dating myself here. I've known Red for 48 years. And meeting him way back as a teenager and training at his health club on Doucette, quite smaller than it is today. He's made such advances, and his facility is one of the best in the United States, the largest in the United States as well. Happy birthday, Red. Wishing you a very good day and hope that you have many more birthdays. Okay, now to our topic on hypertension and how to control it naturally. Now, you know, lifestyle plays an important role in the treating of your high blood pressure. If you're successfully controlling your blood pressure with a healthy lifestyle, you may avoid and delay or reduce the need for medications for hypertension as such. You know, you want to lose extra pounds and watch your waistline. You know, blood pressure often increases as weight increases, and as abdominal girth increases as well. Losing just 10 pounds, 4.5 kilograms, can help reduce your blood pressure. In general, the more weight you lose, the lower your blood pressure will go, and also you have a reduction in your cholesterol level. So when you gain weight, two things happen physiologically. Your blood pressure goes up, and your cholesterol level goes up. Losing weight, your blood pressure will go down, and as well, your cholesterol will go down as well. Losing weight makes any blood pressure medications you're taking more effective, actually. So if you're on blood pressure medication and you start to lose some weight, then that's a good thing. You know, you and your doctor can determine your target weight and the best way to achieve it. Now, besides shedding pounds, you should also keep an eye on your waistline. Carrying too much weight around your waist, which we call central obesity, it puts you at greater risk for higher blood pressure. In general, men are at risk if their waist measurements are greater than 40 inches. Women are at risk if their waist measurements are greater than 35 inches. Asian men are at risk if their waist measurement is greater than 36 inches, whereas Asian women, they're at risk if their waist measures greater than 32. You know, you should be exercising regularly to control your blood pressure. Regular physical activity, exercise, at least 30 to 60 minutes most days of the week, can lower your blood pressure by 4 to 10 millimeters of mercury. And if it doesn't take long, well, I've seen exercising to see this drastic difference in drop in blood pressure. The combination of exercising and you start losing weight, you see a big reduction in your blood pressure, normalization of your blood pressure. If you haven't been active, increasing your exercise level can lower your blood pressure within just a few weeks. If you have pre-hypertension, this is a systolic blood pressure between 120 to 139, or diastolic blood pressure, the lower number, between 80 and 89. Now, exercise can help you avoid developing full-blown hypertension. If you already have hypertension, regular physical exercise can bring your blood pressure down to a safer level. You know, exercise produces nitric oxide in the vascular walls, and I've talked about this nitric oxide component of dilation of the blood vessels, and with dilation of the blood vessels, you have reduction in blood pressure. So exercise plays that role of providing an increased production of this compound that will lower your blood pressure naturally. So another good factor between exercise. Exercise is going to help you lose a little weight. You know, that combined with a very healthy diet. Diet rich in vegetables will also increase the nitric oxide level, especially your green leafy vegetables. Pomegranate is another very good one. Watermelon is very rich in L-citrulline, which increases the production of nitric oxide. So, you know, there are some natural things you can do to lower your blood pressure through exercising and weight loss. Okay, now back to a few more points here. You know, you want to avoid being a weekend warrior. When we talk about exercising, you know, we want you to do it on a consistent and regular basis. You know, your doctor can help determine whether you need any exercise restrictions. You know, you might not want to do squats and some exercises if you have a back issue. You want to avoid those type of exercises, of course. But, you know, even moderate exercise or activity, 10 minutes at a time, such as walking and light strength training, can help you reduce your blood pressure. But, you know, you want to avoid being that weekend warrior. You know, when you're trying to squeeze in all your exercise and on weekends to make up for the weekday inactivity isn't a good strategy. And those sudden bursts of activity could actually be risky for a stroke. You know, you want to eat a healthy diet, and I just alluded to the fact that vegetables increase in the nitric oxide. Eating a diet rich in whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and low-fat dairy products, and skims on saturated fat and cholesterol can lower your blood pressure up to 14 millimeters of mercury, and that's very significant. This eating plan is known as the dietary approach to stop hypertension. DASH, DASH. That's how we get the DASH diet. It stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. It isn't easy to change your eating habits, but with these tips, you can adopt a healthy diet and a healthy nutritional plan. You want to keep a food diary. You know, when we write things down, we know more of what we're putting in our mouth, and we become more conscious of it, and so we're more likely to avoid these foods if they start adding up the calories and the salt content of the foods that we're consuming. Writing down what you eat, even for just a week, can shed surprising light on your true eating habits. Monitor what you eat and how much and why. You know, sometimes we eat for comfort, and sometimes we will seek comfort food. I tell many patients, don't go to a supermarket if you're hungry, because you're liable to come back with a lot of, you know, unrefined carbohydrates, a lot of starchy foods that are not healthy for you. You know, you want to consider boosting your potassium if you have high blood pressure. Potassium can lessen the effects of sodium on blood pressure. The best source of potassium is food such as fruits and vegetables rather than a supplement. You want to talk to your doctor about the potassium level that's best for you. Now, be a smart shopper. Make a shopping list before heading to the supermarket to avoid picking up junk food. And this is all a very good idea. You know, you want to read food labels when you're in the supermarket and when you shop, and you want to stick to your healthy eating plan when you're dining out as well. You know, because we're all tempted when we eat out. You know, food that we find in restaurants are composed of three things that make them taste good and help it taste good. And that's sugar, okay, high fat as well, and salt. Those three components, sugar, salt, and high fat, it's what gives food its flavor. But, you know, you can go easy on the sugar, you know, order very healthy dishes. You know, you can order grilled tuna, you can order grilled chicken breast, you know, something very healthy for you. You can have steamed vegetables with your meal as well. Going back to more points on this, you want to be a smart shopper. You want to cut yourself some slack. You know, although the DASH diet is a lifelong eating guide, it doesn't mean you have to cut out all foods you love. If you do a diet like that, you're not going to stay on your diet. It's okay to treat yourself occasionally to foods you wouldn't find on a DASH diet menu, such as candy bar or mashed potatoes with gravy. Next factor we want to come to is sodium reduction. You know, in sodium, we take in a lot of sodium. We're going to retain a lot of water, which is going to increase the intravascular volume, and it's going to cause high blood pressure by making the heart work harder to pump this increased volume in the vasculature. So even small reduction in sodium in your diet can reduce blood pressure by 2 to 8 millimeters of mercury. The recommendations for reducing sodium are these. You want to limit sodium to 2,300 milligrams a day or less, sometimes under 2 grams. A lower sodium level of 1,500 milligrams a day or less is appropriate for people 51 years of age and older. Individuals of any age who are African American or who have high blood pressure, diabetes, or chronic kidney disease should reduce their sodium below 1,500 milligrams per day, 1.5 grams or 1.5 grams. To decrease sodium in your diet, consider these following steps. Track how much salt is in your diet. Keeping a food diary to estimate how much sodium is in what you eat and drink each day. Read food labels if possible. Choose low sodium alternatives of the foods and beverages you normally buy. Eat fewer processed foods such as potato chips, frozen dinners, bacon, processed lunch meats are high in sodium. And don't add salt. Just 1 level teaspoon of salt contains 2,300 milligrams of sodium, or 2.3 grams. You want to use herbs or spices rather than salt to add more flavor to your foods. Ease into it. If you don't feel like you can drastically reduce your sodium in diet suddenly, well, cut back gradually. Your palate will adjust over time to the decrease in sodium in your food. Another factor, you want to limit the amount of alcohol you drink. Alcohol can be both good and bad for your health. In small amounts, alcohol can potentially lower your blood pressure by 2 to 4 millimeters of mercury. But that protective effect is lost if you drink too much alcohol. Generally more than 1 drink a day for women and men older than 65, or more than 2 a day for men aged 65 and younger. But if you don't normally drink alcohol, you shouldn't start drinking as a way to lower your blood pressure. This doesn't make sense, and you shouldn't start drinking alcohol to lower your cholesterol either. There's more potential harm than benefit to drinking alcohol. Don't fool yourself when you say you're drinking wine to lower your blood pressure and drinking wine to lower your cholesterol. There's some studies where drinking wine increases your HDL, the high density lipoprotein, the good part of the cholesterol that protects you from cardiovascular disease. But I wouldn't start drinking wine. There are other healthy things you can do to increase your HDL. One of them is exercise, niacin also increases the HDL level. If you drink more than moderate amounts of alcohol, it can actually raise the blood pressure by several points. It can also reduce the effectiveness of your blood pressure medicine. So, if you're taking blood pressure medicines, you should not be drinking alcohol. Track your drinking patterns along with your food diary, and keep an alcohol diary to track your true drinking patterns. 1 drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or 1.5 ounces of 80 proof liquor. If you're drinking more than the suggested amounts, cut back. It's that simple. Consider tapering off if you're a heavy drinker, because suddenly eliminating all alcohol can actually trigger severe high blood pressure for several days. So when you stop drinking, do it with the supervision of your doctor, or taper off slowly. Over 1 or 2 weeks, actually. Don't binge drinking. Having 4 or more drinks in a row can cause large and sudden increases in blood pressure in addition to other health problems. Important matters that we should keep in mind when trying to lower our blood pressure. No matter how you slice it, diet is a dirty word to many people. It smacks of deprivation and hunger pains. To overcome the pain, you need a plan. You want to know your weight loss goals. Consider how much you need to lose before you decide to do so. This is what you should really focus on. The very overweight or obese, for someone obese, refer them to a weight loss center where a person would lose weight. It should be helpful for them to take up exercise and watch their diet. Those individuals who have a lot of weight to lose can benefit from a structured, supervised exercise program and dietary program. You want to use Portion size controlling. If you control portion size, you can cut calories drastically and reduce weight. To learn correct portion size, you can consult a registered dietitian. Or you can take a look at the USDA new My Plate guidelines. You know, we talk about exercise, also has to be a part of your plan. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean joining the gym, but you can buy a treadmill or bicycle and a stationary bicycle and use this piece of equipment while you're watching TV. This will make the time pass quite rapidly. You know, to understand your weight loss personality, you know, personality plays a role in our attitude towards food. And, you know your tendencies and tailor your plan to conquer the unproductive inclinations for high-fat foods and high-salt foods. Impulse. If you have a tendency to be impulsive, you might see a pint of Ben & Jerry's in the freezer and go for it. You know, clearly you're a dieter who needs to remove these temptations. So, you know, maybe going through your pantry, going through your refrigerator, removing those very high-fat, high-sugary type foods would be a good place to start. If you tend to not pay attention to what you eat, if you're a TV snacker, you need to avoid such situations if you want to do portion controls, because, you know, you're eating subconsciously, you're watching something on TV, you're downing a box of popcorn and maybe a candy bar, and you're not really aware that you're eating this much food, and it's something that you should keep in mind. You know, various personalities. Certain personalities don't find it difficult losing weight. If you are highly self-directed, cooperative, and have a lot of stick-to-itiveness, you're going to have an easier time losing weight and lowering your blood pressure. You know, if you're sociable, you tend to mind your food intake better than others. That's a good thing. You know, when you hear heartburn patients talk about diet and exercise, you know, these people can have various gastrointestinal issues. You know, diet and exercise, a healthy diet can also curb this. A combination of diet and exercise, which leads to weight loss, can improve these conditions as well. You know, it takes a lot of discipline to drop weight and take responsibility for your health. And we all have that responsibility. This program is about giving you information that will allow you to take care of yourself, to make these health improvements, these lifestyle changes that must be made in order to reach your goals in weight reduction, which will also end in a reduction in your blood pressure, a reduction in your cholesterol. You know, the exercise, besides lowering your blood pressure and lowering your body weight, will also help calm you. You know, exercise is very good in calming and has a tranquilizing effect on us as well. I'm Dr. Rick Duplantis. I hope you've enjoyed this program on lowering your blood pressure naturally. You know, remember, you know, if these programs don't work for you, if the diet and the exercise program, you try that for a couple of months, and if it doesn't work, you know, see your doctor and have him put you on medication. But many times, if you're borderline hypertensive or pre-hypertensive, you know, simply reduction in weight and increase in an exercise program would be enough to help lower your blood pressure where you do not need to go on medications. But in the end, if it does happen and you don't control it with the diet and with the weight loss, do seek out medical help. See your physician, your family doctor, to be put on medication, to be monitored by him in lowering your blood pressure. I hope you've enjoyed this segment on hypertension. I'm Dr. Rick Duplantis. I want to wish you a very pleasant evening. God bless.